I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and this is my video blog. We are back out here today at the Black Mountain Country Club, and I'm joined by our tournament director of the Halloween Classic presented by Legacy Disc. This is Nick Mountain, and Nick, you guys are doing some pretty big things. We're out here at this property. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, this was a big undertaking for us. Like, our club has never ran a tournament where we had to design something from the ground up. It's very challenging, but it was a huge team effort put in by a lot of people to make this happen.
One thing that's been really great that I've seen this entire weekend is just the togetherness and the way that you guys have worked together as a club. I kind of miss some of that. You don't see that everywhere you go. Sometimes it's the work of just one or two individual, but you guys have all hands on deck here. How do you keep that that camaraderie and that togetherness?
We have just a great club, great board members on the board right now, and just the volunteers have just been amazing. We've had so many people step up. Just couldn't make this happen without the volunteers. They were just essential.
Well, I gotta say, I feel very welcome. It's been great out here. Normally, I would say a cart isn't as necessary, but with this heat and the way these guys are throwing, a cart's been great just so I can get around and get the footage.
November and it's 80 degrees, yes. You know, you can't complain.
It's better than the 40 I had when I left Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Legacy Disc obviously is helping with the coverage and me being out here, but they've been a huge supporter to you guys all the time, not just this event, but what has it meant to you?
Bamba and Rico, Steve Rico, they've been big supporters of the LVDGC through the years, and they've really stepped up this year, helping us title sponsor this. I mean, they made it bigger than ever. This is the biggest Halloween event we've ever had, thanks to Legacy. So. All
right, well, that is Nick. He's got plenty of things on his plate, along with the rest of the Las Vegas Disc Golf Club. We're looking forward to big things next year as they got a new challenge for the Gentlemen's Club. We're looking forward to that as well. Again, for Nick and Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, let's get to round 3, our final round. I'm going to lose a few discs. There's a lot of sun out there. There's not a lot of shade. I've been working on it for 2 days. I'm going to lose a shot or two in the blue sky, but it'll still work out. So let's get to the action.
Hi, I'm Paul Ulibarri, PDGA number 27171. My sponsors are Prodigy Disc, Do Squad, and Crush Close.
Okay, make your putt.
Okay, make your putt.
Bobby Musick, my PDGA number 15911. My sponsors are Legacy Disc Golf, Voodoo Disc Golf Bags, and Huck Lab.
Hi, I'm Steve Berger, PDGA 28091. I'm sponsored by the Blue Ox Central Bar and Grill and the Las Vegas Disc Golf Club. Thank you.
My name is Cameron Messerschmidt, PDGA number 58814. I'd like to thank one of my sponsors, Meridian Disc Golf and Mothership Glass from Bellingham, Washington, and my mom and my dad for supporting me and helping me while I'm out here, you know, on tour. Thank you.
Tony Martinez, PDGA 43921. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Team Utah Open.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our round 3 coverage. We've got Steve Berger after going OB on that tee shot. Looks like he's going to be at best taking penalty. We see 4 out of the 5 gentlemen we saw from the second round, with the addition here of Cameron Messerschmidt coming up to the lead card. Solid putt like that will put him and keep him on the lead card during this 3rd round. Very impressive. Bobby Musick may have relinquished a stroke there with less than ideal footing. Messerschmidt with the only birdie as we take a look back over the water, which we'll see on hole 18. Again, Messerschmidt with the birdie, Berger with the bogey, and 3 pars. Uli going out and around on the right hand side. This is a pretty wide open hyzer for all four of these gentlemen, and we're going to see a lefty hyzer. You can see the wind pushing slightly from left to right. See the lefty hyzer by Steve Berger. This is Anthony Martinez, putting himself right up there. And that wind continues to push over. Looks like he played it nicely. Musick had come up just a bit short. Him and Martinez both have to go up and over the bush. Uli's patented step putt, just a bit left. Solid birdie here. Messerschmidt opens with birdie on holes 1 and 2. That's going to leave the rest of the group with not too much action. All they're going to be able to do is tap in, clean up for their pars. Getting 2 strokes on the first 2 holes is Cameron Messerschmidt. Solid opening here during round number 3. Of course, Cameron with the tee here. And he is clear of the bunker. Anytime you're seeing any of these competitors land in a bunker, they play it as an obstacle, or a hazard, I should say, which means they still get a 1-stroke penalty. However, you play it from exactly where it came to rest. You don't get 1 meter relief from it. You don't come out of it. You play it exactly where it lies, and you get a 1-throw penalty. And that turned over to the right-hand side, which I could see clearly on a full screen. However, not so much in that hot sun beating down. This is a par 4. Steve Berger's second shot to attack the pin. Somewhat of a difficult spot to be in because this is a blind shot. The basket is behind those trees. So the players are really just looking to throw to an area because they can't see it. Of course, there's the white flag to somewhat assist them. Little forehand flick by Messerschmidt. This is for birdie 3. Andy short. Martinez the same. And Bobby's good on his putt for 3. That's going to be a birdie. Steve Berger was also able to tap in. So we've got 441 feet. The slightest change of elevation from a little bit higher spot to slightly lower. Again, very minimal elevation there. Looks like Musick had let his carry to the left with that wind pushing it over. And Cameron looking to play it wide out. However, just like Musick, we saw that push over. Uli's going to make a slight adjustment from what he saw from the previous righties. And throwing a purple disc up into a blue and purple backdrop is very difficult. We got it in there though. And Martinez was over the path, which is OB. Uli was inside the bunker, so by making that putt, he's going to take a penalty 3, saving the par. And just by that much, we see Steve Berger is inbounds. And after solid putts on 1 and 2, Messerschmidt doesn't convert. Not sure what was going on with Steve Berger. Musick is in for the 3. And a tester that barely flops back in for him. I think he should consider himself a little bit lucky on that one. Usually if those flop out, they head toward the ground. Gonna move over to the par 3, hole number 5 at 354 feet. If you land on the cart path, you are inbounds. However, if you cross the cart path, then you are OB. And getting that to stick nicely right where it initially hit. This is Messerschmidt going out to the right hand side, but then swaying directly in my view. And Uli looks to have a good shot over there. And not good. See a little sand kick up. And cannot convert, and actually finds himself back in the bunker. Musick was OB. And this is an interesting one with this rule for the weekend.
It's OB, I mean, so I get to take it.
It's not out of bounds. Yeah, it's an inbounds hazard. I'm not sure I'm playing provisional, and then we could question it.
It's not in bounds. It's I'm getting a penalty stroke.
Yeah.
So I go there.
Yeah. That's just
You get to always play your previous lie.
previous slide. Okay.
And Uli trying to get a group confirmation. Typically anytime you go OB, you are eligible to throw from that previous lie. Of course, still taking your penalty stroke, and with this one being closer, he wanted to throw from that spot again. And this time he's in. Ulibarri still going to walk away with a double bogey. He's sitting +2 here during the opening 5 holes of this round. Cameron's in for the birdie. And Anthony continues to struggle. He's going to take a 6. Berger's happy to take a birdie 2 here. Again, him and Messerschmidt with the birdies. The other 3 gentlemen on the group all going over par here on hole number 5. So everything but a par we find on hole number 5. Here we move over to 6. This hole relinquished nothing but pars during the second round when we saw our leader card play this out. It's really all about just getting it there, seeing if you can make a putt, hopefully get the birdie and move on. We see a great shot there by Musick. They're throwing what is onto an old golf tee area from when the property was a golf course. There was 9 holes which is where the 18-hole disc golf course is for this weekend. Uli seems to be just a bit off today. It's been a long weekend for these competitors. And Cameron almost dials it in. Previous night being Halloween, we'll say shenanigans, taking place in Las Vegas. We move over to the famous hole 7. It's a par 4, 591 feet. Many of you have seen Derek Billings' opening round challenges here on hole number 7. And very consistent throughout the weekend. Steve Berger with a very low line drive release anytime he's throwing his tee shots. And using all of the fairway and then some is Messerschmidt. And Uli's shot, like the previous day, carrying off to the left-hand side. And Martinez finds himself a little bit shorter, but in a very good position. We see Uli's shot coming in from a distance, just barely getting a glimpse of it. I didn't set myself up in the best position with forgetting that Uli was off that far on the left-hand side. A rare forehand by Musick. Textbook approach there. And a little bit aggressive there by Cameron. Uli with his third shot. He's going to be tapping in for a par. And just a bit off, just like the previous hole. Musick's happy to take the 3, as well as Steve Berger. And with that, Bobby Musick has tied for the lead here and finds himself OB the very next hole. And Berger's drive slips just off the island green. That's OB.
Come on.
Messerschmidt with a solid drive there. Exactly what you're looking to do. And Uli answers, putting it right next to his. And right out of his hand. Didn't look like quite enough power there by Anthony Martinez. Maybe a little too much hyzer. This is from the drop zone with penalty. Musick will have a 4 for hole number 8 here. Same for Berger, and Martinez looking for a little long putt action here. Maybe salvage a par or stay in bounds. And he just barely stays in bounds. And conversely, we see Messerschmidt as well as Ulibarri, both with very short putts. Pair of birdies for them and a set of bogeys for the other 3 on the card. So Musick had caught Ulibarri on the previous hole, putting them both at 14 under par. However, Paul's going to pull back away with a 2-stroke lead with approximately 10 holes to play. .351 feet. OB on the right-hand side, hole number 9. I had lost that one pretty much right out of his hand. Little tip for attempting to follow shots. Simply zoomed in a little too much. Here I learned my lesson, stayed a little wider, and follow Bobby's shot a little nicer here. This is downhill, however you need to stay clear of the trees on the left hand side. This will be Musick. He is short. Martinez, of course, from one knee with plenty of obstruction. Uli looking to extend his lead. He's done that. He's going to go back up 3 strokes now at this point. Messerschmidt with a birdie putt from one knee. Bobby will settle for the par. Martinez is going to settle for the par. And Berger's able to tap in for the birdie. Uli just even through this round. Musick 1 under par. Still a few off of Paul's pace. And we saw Cameron Messerschmidt, who started out hot. Still bogey free at this point. Let's see if he can work any magic and maybe get a little closer during the final 9. Again, I'm the Disc Golf Guy. You've been watching the final round coverage. This is the front 9. We're going to move over to the back in just a few moments. Thanks to Legacy Disc.